Welcome to RHCSA Guru. In this lab, we'll explore network-attached storage, focusing on NFS and Samba. So let's get started. First, we'll begin by installing the necessary NFS server packages. Use the command yum install NFS utils libmap to get everything set up. Next, we'll start and enable the bind service to run on boot. You can do this with the command system ctl enable RHCSA bind -- now. Now, let's start the NFS server and ensure it automatically starts on boot. Run the command system ctl enable NFS server and in system ctl start NFS server to get it going. Now create a directory that will share over NFS. Simply run the command mkdir/nfsdir. Next, we'll adjust the permissions for the /nfstir directory, giving everyone read, write, and execute access. Use the command chmod a+rwx/nfstir to apply the changes. Next, let's create 3 files inside the /nfsdir directory. You can do this by running cd/nfsdir and in touch file 1, file 2, file 3 command. Now let's add some content to file 1. Simply run echo this is a demo file, file 1, to write the text into the file. Next, we'll configure the NFS server to share the /nfsdir directory. To do this, open the /etc/exports file using VI editor and make the necessary edits. Now add the given line to the /etc/exports file. This allows read-write access, synchronization, and disables root squashing. Now let's export the shared directory to make it available. Use the command export fs-rv to apply the changes. Next, we'll check the server's IP address. Simply run the command ifconfig to display the network details. In this lab, the client and server are on the same machine. If they were on separate machines, you need to start and enable RHCSA bind on the client before proceeding with the next steps. Ensure that the firewall and diptables are stopped on both the client and server. Then, open a new terminal and check if the shared file is available by running unmount server IP. Now on the client side, create a directory called /mnt/attachdir where we'll mount and stir. Use the command mkdir/mnt/attach_dir to set it up. Now use the mount command to mount the shared directory to /mnt/attach_dir. Just replace the IP address with your NFS server's IP. To verify if the directory was successfully mounted, run the df-h command. Next, check the contents of the mounted directory by running ls/mnt/attach_dir. You should see all the files created on the server side, now available on the client. Now unmount the directory using the unmount command, unmount/mnt/attach_dir. Now let's install the Samba server package using the command yum install Samba client Samba common. Check if firewalled or IP tables is running using systemctl status command. If so, either disable the firewall or add a rule to allow Samba traffic. Create the directory you want to share over Samba with mkdir p/samba/samba-dir. Next, create a demo file inside Samba.dir with the content using command echo from Samba server /samba/samba.dir/file1. Now, change the permissions for Samba.dir to allow everyone read, write, and list access with chmod a plus rwx r/samba. Next, change the ownership of the /samba directory to nobody with command chown- or nobody:/samba. Check if SE Linux is disabled by running SE status. If it's already disabled, you can skip the next step. To allow Samba to work, we need to disable SE Linux in this lab environment. Open the SE Linux config file with vi/etc/celinux/config and change celinux equals enforcing to celinux equals disabled. Now, reboot the system for the SE Linux changes to take effect. Run reboot. And wait a couple of minutes. Once the Reload pop-up appears, click Reload window. Next, edit the Samba configuration file at /etc/samba/smb.zonf. Replace the existing code, outside of the comments, with the provided configuration. Check if the changes made to the smb.zonf file are correct by running testparm. Now enable and start the SMB service using systemctl enable SMB and in systemctl start SMB command. Also enable and start the NMB service with systemctl enable NMB and in systemctl start NMB command. Since we have both Samba client and server on the same machine, install CIFS utils and Samba client with yum install CIFS utils Samba client command. Now let's create a directory where we'll mount the Samba share. Run the command mkdir/mnt/samba client. This will prepare the location on our system where we can access the shared files. Next, let's mount the shared Samba directory to our /mnt/samba client directory. Use the command mount tcifs//IP address /anonymous/mnt/samba client. Remember to replace the IP address with the address of your lab machine, which you can find using the ifconfig command. Since we're logging in anonymously, when you're prompted for a password, simply leave the field blank and press Enter. To verify if the directory was successfully mounted, run the command df-h. Now let's check the contents of the mounted directory by running ls/mnt/samba client. You should see all the files created on the server side now accessible on the client. Finally, unmount the directory using the unmount command unmount/mnt/samba client. Congratulations! You've completed the lab. Mark the lab as completed.